I'll be explaining the horror film till death warning. Please watch the video carefully as there are spoilers ahead. Emma, a married lady, and her husband Mark, a criminal defense attorney, have a problematic marriage at the start of the film. Telling Tom, a partner at Mark's law firm and Mark's co-worker and the man, she has seen about their relationship ending as a result of Mark's growing coldness and violence toward Emma. Their marriage has fallen apart. She and Mark later went on a date to celebrate their anniversary at a restaurant. Emma then receives a necklace as a surprise from Mark during their dinner. Emma also surprised him with Super Bowl tickets, but he didn't show an ounce of appreciation. After dinner, Mark let her put on a blindfold and drove her to a place he refused to tell her about. Emma then grew impatient and took off the blindfold, and she was touched when she saw that he was taking her to the remote lake house where they used to go when they first started dating. She then went inside the house and saw roses and candles all over the house, and their pictures hung in a room. When she got to the bedroom, he apologized to Emma for being a bad husband towards her and for what he had done in the past before making love to her. The next morning, Emma woke up to find Mark handcuffed to her before shooting himself in the head and killing himself. Emma then noticed that he had destroyed the phone. When she went to call for help, she then tried shooting the handcuffs, but there were no bullets left. She then dragged her husband's body to the closet and saw her wedding gown, and behind it was a safe. She then fell off the stairs after dragging his dead body. She then saw that her phone was submerged in water and no longer worked, and she had taken away all of the sharp objects in the house. She walked barefoot in the snow of the garage, and by the time she got to the garage, she had located the SUV keys. In the trash, the radio plays a mocking message from Mark that reveals he was aware of her affair. As soon as she starts the car, the SUV then stops working because all of the gas has been sucked out. She went into the bathroom to attempt taking the necklace off, but she couldn't. She then went down to the basement to find something to free herself from being handcuffed, and discovered that all the sharp objects had been thrown away. She then struggled to pull his body up the stairs, screaming at his dead body in the process. She then went to the room full of their pictures, but it was all changed to include her and Tom's pictures. She then played the record player, and the recording of her being questioned after she was attacked in the past played, making her throw a fit. Tom then arrives at the lake house a few hours later and reveals that Mark was in risk of losing his license when he was found preparing evidence for his customers, and that he was summoned to the scene by messages from Emma's phone. After explaining everything and showing him Mark's lifeless body, Emma insisted on phoning the police, but Tom was concerned that they might not believe her. Tom was then informed by Emma that all of the texts were a part of Mark's scheme. Tom then saw a truck heading toward the cabin and forced Emma to get inside. Jimmy, the man, got out and said he was there to fix the plumbing, but even after Tom tried to persuade him to leave, he refused. Then Bobby, who had just been released from prison after serving 10 years, stabbed Tom to death with a knife. Bobby had previously attacked Emma and had made it to the boat shed after eluding the men, but Jimmy discovered the blood trail, followed it, swiftly freed herself from Mark's corpse with an anchor, and fled. Jimmy then phoned Bobby after finding Mark's body, escorted him to the shed where Emma was, overheard them, and learned that Mark had hired them to murder Emma and that they now needed to find the gems Mark had promised them. Bobby thinks the diamonds are in the bedroom safe, which requires Emma to know the code and Mark's fingerprints. The men investigated the house and found a means to unlock the safe. When Emma found a fuel can on the boat, she dragged it to the garage to fill up the SUV. However, while she was doing so, Bobby entered and cut the tires because he thought Emma could be inside. Bobby followed Emma after she went through an outdoor door to the basement, but she used the car as a distraction by setting off the alarm. Emma then went inside, said her last goodbyes to Tom, and went into the attic. She then came up with a plan to entice Bobby inside, whereupon he fell and crashed through the floor, knocking him unconscious. Emma took the key from Bobby and ran to the car before Jimmy could even catch her, locking Jimmy in a nearby room. She then tried to flee in Tom's car, but Bobby caught her in time and dragged her out of it. Before being kicked in the face and rendered unconscious, Emma was able to call 911 on Tom's phone. She later awoke in the bedroom, once more in handcuffs, and Bobby informed her that the safe's code was the day Mark proposed to her, threatening to torture her if she didn't comply. Jimmy protested and aimed Mark's gun at Bobby, but Emma consented to give up the code in return for being released first. Once Emma was unbound from her handcuffs, they obtained the code from her. When Bobby opened the safe, he found a hacksaw with a clue that indicated the diamonds were within Emma's necklace, which was hard to remove because it had no latch. Bobby understands that beheading Emma is the only way to get the necklace. Jimmy then attempted to take the saw away from Bobby, but he accidentally killed himself by being impaled on a coat hook. Emma was stabbed in the leg by Bobby after he assaulted her, but she was able to fend him off and restrain Bobby to Mark's body. After that, Emma headed back to the SUV while Bobby chased after her, pulling Mark with him. Then, she struck the boat shed and ran Bobby over with the car. Emma fought Bobby on the ice lake after exiting the vehicle. Emma stabbed Bobby, and when the ice split beneath him, he plummeted into the frozen lake. The film ends with Emma taking off her ring and letting it drop into the lake after Bobby grabbed her and pulled her in, but she was able to stab him in the eye before swimming to the top of the water as Bobby was pushed under by Mark's body.